Man, y'all know what time it is. It's Tuesday, and it's time for Off the Fence. I'm Finch, and man, we got a great show today. We are talking about a number of subjects today. Let me look at my paper. If we have sex, are we now exclusive? Plus, how important is emotional intelligence in a relationship? And so much more. What I want you to do right now is like and share the show right now with your circle of friends so we can all be a part of the conversation because the show starts right now.
I turn it on and I leave it on.
Broadcasting around the world on the World Wide Web. This is
Off the Fence with Finch.
All I can say is wow.
I'm addicted to this.
All right, guys. So this week I received quite a bit of emails. Not all of them were letters. I have two letters today, and I'm going to do something different. I'm going to read one of them in the beginning of the show. But I also have a few things that people want me to address. Hey, thank y'all for the emails. Finch at let me put that up. Make sure we put that on the screen so you guys who want to send me stuff. If you have topics that you want me to discuss, things that may be happening in your life, or your family's life, or somebody that you know, you said, hey, I want him to address this. The email's on the bottom of the screen. It's ask Finch at IamHaroldFinch.com. Or if you got a subject or a topic you want me to discuss, like I'm going to do tonight for the young lady that sent me that, I really appreciate it, man. I read that 3-4 times, and we're going to talk about it today. Yeah, I'm gonna put that at the beginning of the show so I can talk about that early. My goodness, y'all got all kind of stuff going on in your world. All right, guys. So make sure you are subscribing to the YouTube. Make sure you guys are clicking on the notification bells so you know every time the conversation goes live. And yeah, that part. Hey, Katrina, how you doing? I'm gonna wave to you right now. I want you to come on this show so you can talk to people. Yeah. All right, let me introduce my people. Up first, I got If Unbothered was a person. She's a queen of the one-liners. And you guys love her because just this week somebody said, hey, let me tell y'all something. That girl Root you got on your show, I was like, say less. Welcome, Root, to the show.
Hey y'all, hello.
Man, listen, people be hitting me up talking about, man, I'm just learning how to people. I was like, man, that goddamn Root. Look at you glowing today.
Listen, I am officially an empty nester. I just got rid of my last kid.
Oh.
I'm so excited. Yes, this is a glow.
Oh my goodness. A couple of weeks ago, you said, fuck them kids, right?
Fuck them kids. I'm so excited. Last kid is gone. Well, my oldest is back home, but she's an adult, so she don't really count. But technically, I'm an empty nester. I don't have to raise nobody else. So this is the no raising glow that you see.
This is the no raising glow. So, you know, people are, I was talking to somebody this week and they was like, listen, I watched your show last week. And all they said was that Root, and I was like, say less. I already knew. They was like, man, I would love to be best friends with Root. I was like, man,
I like people.
That's why you people the way you people.
That's why people the way I people.
All right. So right now she's doing a resident here each and every week, like she's in Vegas. Popping it like it's hot. Today she's been smoking some trees, so she's sitting in the bushes. Welcome, Mika.
Definitely not. Hey y'all, I got a whole egg in my nest. He's 7. He's still running around. I'm not as fortunate as Root, but I'm here. Hey y'all.
Not a whole egg.
Hey. I wanted to be close up like y'all. I felt like I was always sitting way back, so now I'm like.
Now you like, yeah, I'm out here growing some bananas in the wilderness.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. Up next, we have the Undertaker and the life insurance guy. Y'all, please welcome Nate.
Hey, Nate.
What's going on, Root?
What's happening?
Hey, Mika, what's good?
Hey, Nate.
Finch, what's good, man?
Hey, Nate got a whole different look this week, don't he?
Right, he glowing over there.
Nate, what you been doing, man?
That's all it is to it. Keep leveling up. That's what it's about.
Yeah, Nate, like he in high definition now. I love it.
I'm working on my lighting skills, I guess.
Oh, well, you did a fantastic job this week, man. That looks great.
Cool.
All right. We got two newcomers this week. You guys have seen her on the Normandy and Crenshaw version of That's My Mama. Please welcome Amber to the show.
I'm so weak. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Amber.
Pleasure to be here this evening.
Now, Amber's a real superstar.
I'm not a superstar. I'm just a regular person.
Anybody in the film with Jennifer Hudson is a superstar to me.
Regular person. Just grateful for all opportunities, though.
That's what we tell them. Just regular person. Just regular.
That's it.
Uh-huh. All right. Up next, we got another newcomer who hit us up in the inbox this week and said, hey, what y'all doing over there? So we said, come on in here. Looking like a serial killer. Wayne, welcome.
Hello. Sorry about the lighting. Yeah, it's last minute.
Hey, you good, man. Listen, you like to lay in the cut, I hear.
Yeah, I do.
Wayne told us, he said, hey, man, y'all might kick me off for some of the stuff I say. It's like, man, your opinions are welcome here. Come on in here and say what you got to say.
All right.
All right, Wayne, where are you out of? Where are you from?
I'm originally from New Orleans, but I'm living in Atlanta.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, guys, we got a great show tonight. I'm going to do something different this week. I was so touched by the inboxes this week, I decided I got to read a letter at the beginning of the show. So before we get into our fireside chat, which is, if we have sex, are we now exclusive? Oh my goodness. Before we talk about that, I have an Ask Finch letter. We're going to hear it right now. Now, I have two letters this week and a couple other emails that I'm going to get into. Let me see which one I'm going to start with. Root, let's choose. Let's do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to hold up the papers and I want you to tell me which one. The one on the left, the one on the right.
Okay, let me see. Do the one on the left.
All right, here we go.
Oh, no, my left. Your right.
Come on now. Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably should have waited on this one, but let's get into it, okay? All right, dear Finch, I am a 44-year-old professional woman with a slew of failed short-term relationships and only a couple of long-term ones. I've experienced some pretty big emotional and physical traumas, and I'm sure the way I think about and handle relationships is all really screwed up. I recently met someone who is 12 years younger. He's smart and sweet, and he has no car and works full-time as a bartender, which means he's around a lot of partying, which he's told me himself. He seems really responsible, but he definitely drinks quite a bit. And since I have had issues with alcohol, this makes me worried. Am I shallow in wishing he had a car at this point in his life and a better job? One that wasn't so centered on drinking. We are not at the point yet where I'm having to drive him around, but I guarantee if that ever happens, I will become resentful. As far as his job is concerned, I just didn't see myself dating a younger bartender at this age. And I feel like a jerk judging him for his job. But as I mentioned, it's contributing to what I think is more drinking than should be done for me and him. And finally, the age difference. I know it should not bother me, but it does a little. I feel like it shouldn't. On the flip side, so far, he is treating me really well, and he seems kind of thoughtful. So I just don't want to toss him aside. It's so rare that I connect with someone who I think is decent. What are your thoughts? Am I shallow? What should I do? She's 44-year-old. She's dating someone 12 years. I'm going to start with Mika.
Let me unmute myself. So I don't think you're shallow. Stella, go ahead and get your groove back. I don't think that he may be anything long term. You're definitely not shallow for wanting him to want more, but is he happy with what he's doing? Like, are you just wanting more for him? Is he happy in the place he is? It just sounds like a lot of mismatch. It's not shallow for her to think that, but I don't see anything long term for that.
All right. Mika says she doesn't see anything long term.
But go ahead, get your groove back with this young fella.
Okay, so you saying she should stay with him. She shouldn't abandon him right now.
Not right now.
Okay. 12 years younger. Nate.
I think that it's imperative that she be honest with him up front about all of these things that she has these issues with, because she just named like one after the next, and that's too much to be coming out the box with. So if she just straight up with him and he's cool with just operating through that, and y'all just chilling until she finds who she really wants, they can go in and do their thing.
So you saying it's okay for her to use him as a seat filler until she finds the person that she really wants to be with?
Yeah, he might be doing that too. Or he understand each other.
Well, all right, cool. All right, I'm gonna go to Root.
So I agree with Nate, partially.
Okay.
I think that there are too many variables that just don't make him a good match. Number one, the age really is not that big of a deal, right? But the things that are red flags is the fact that he drinks too much, and you don't really know his level of responsibility because it's somebody that you just met. You haven't really gotten an opportunity to find out his responsibility status. What is his status, like how responsible he actually is? But most importantly, if you know that you don't want to date someone, like forget about the car situation. There's a lot of people that don't have cars that are doing very well, but you know that the alcohol is a problem for you. Why would you allow someone to come into your space and potentially cause issues with something that you already have an issue with within yourself? So I don't think he needs to be a seat filler. I don't think you need to get your groove back with him, because he has some things going on with him that are going to cause you to relapse. It sounds like she's already made some strides in her life to remove herself from certain situations, and involving herself with him is just going to make her backslide. So move on, honey. But no, it's not shallow. Having standards is not being shallow. If I don't want to date someone that doesn't have a car, then that's my preference. I don't think I'm being shallow by requesting that. That's just a requirement that I have. I'm not going to be your chauffeur. I'm not going to wait for you to have to come pick me up. I'm not doing any of that. So no, not shallow, and leave him alone.
All right. Newcomer Wayne, what's your thoughts, man?
I agree with Ruth. There's a lot of red flags, especially if you're not a drinker and he is. One of the main things, if he ain't have no car, a man got to have some kind of transportation to date in this type of society nowadays. I say leave him alone, find somebody else. It's not worth her time.
Okay, not worth the time.
No.
Wait, leave him. All right, Amber. What'd you say, Nate?
So he chose violence.
Everybody has said everything that I've already thought. What I know is that, I'd like to have a starting five, right? So people have to audition. He would not make the cut. He would, God bless you and good night. You would not go on to the next round. Sis.
Now, why is that, Amber? Now, I mean, she's 44. He's 12 years younger than her. And she's listing off a whole bunch of stuff.
Right. It's the stuff. It's the red flags. Like, you don't go into something knowingly it's going to be an issue. Like, why would I go into anything knowing that you have all of these issues already? No, you need to go and get yourself together, and maybe I'll be available when you try to double back. But normally I don't double back. It's one time and you're gone. Right. No leftovers. No second times around for me. So yeah, he would not be an option at all. Because the drinking, more so than anything, this is your livelihood. This is your health, mental, emotional, physical. And why would you jeopardize that for a piece of bird?
A bird?
That's what I refer to. Since we're talking about sex and,
that's a new one for me.
Yeah, bird.
Like,
give me some of that big bird.
Yay! Come on now. Right. Big bird, Sesame Street style.
Big bird.
A little peacock action. Okay.
Okay.
Peacock is small.
Oh goodness. So the consensus of people on this panel have suggested that she move on or she stay with him and see how it goes.
She move on.
Move on.
I fly away, girl.
Fly the coop. Okay.
Move on, but smash occasionally.
Oh.
Don't even smash, because sometimes you could get digmatized. You don't want to do that. And then because you entering somebody into your spirit, right? You taking them into you. And if it's good, you might find yourself justifying even more as to why this could potentially work.
But he's already traveled to her spirit via feet because he don't have a car. But
he's done what?
He's already in the spirit via feet.
But if he doing it right, he gonna be getting her car.
And she said, "I'm not ready for that." She's already mentally prepared of what she don't want to do. She's like, "Yeah, I don't want to have to show him around." But who's to say that she would have to?
Yeah,
right, I'm hearing from somebody.
Right?
I'm hearing an echo. Somebody got their speakers up too loud. Who is it? Let me see. Let me see. It's not Wayne. Is it Amber?
Is it me?
Hello. It was you. I'm pretty sure it was you.
It's me?
It probably was you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to turn your speakers down. We hear an echo. Okay,
Yep.
so let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Concerning this. Now, what do you think is her number one cause for entertaining this man with all these other things that she's talking about that seems like, I know you guys called them red flags. I would say
red flags.
These are okay. Red flags. The color red. Why do you think her color is red right now when it comes to this scenario? Because I see a lot of stuff in this letter.
More than likely, she doesn't want to be, and I mean, I'm just speculating from the little bit of information you gave, honey. Probably afraid to be alone and not being strong enough and address your own insecurities. So you're willing to try to justify why this man is acceptable. And you've named more things on why he's not acceptable and didn't name not a damn thing on why he is. So
that part.
That's a big thing. So, when you are at a point that you're okay being alone and you're not looking for validation from a relationship, you're not looking for someone to complete you, then you're okay passing up people that just aren't suitable. So I would say the number one reason is probably her fear of being alone, because it ain't no way I'm gonna be with somebody that don't fit me.
All right. Mika, what you think?
I think what Ruth think. You caught me mid sip.
Get your sip in.
No, I'm never sure why people move. You know how Diana's we gonna people the way. Sometimes I just don't get how people end up people and how they people. Like I heard the story, and then she described herself, and then what she was dealing with. I can't even come up with why she would do that, other than what Ruth just said. Maybe she's in a place where she just needs to dig a little deeper, because I can't find any other logical reason for that.
Okay. All right. I'll say this. All right, I'm hearing the echo again, so it's somebody else. I don't know who that
It
is.
sounded like it was you, actually.
It sounds like it's me.
Yeah, and then it did this other little thing too when you spoke.
What is it saying? What is it doing?
Well, it's fine now. No, I'm echoing now.
Yep.
It's fine.
But I
That's
still
fine.
hear,
That just means the podcast wants to hear me twice.
That's what it means. I'm hearing myself in the headphones coming from somebody else though.
Same here.
You're hearing yourself or you hear me?
I hear myself as if somebody's here listening to me. I see dead people.
It's Wayne.
Come on, Wayne.
It ain't me.
Wayne in the background.
Is he breaking up?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Testing?
No, Wayne's fine.
Okay. It's Finch.
It's Wayne's world. It's Finch.
Yeah, it's Finch.
What you mean is me?
You're the problem. It's like
exactly. That's exactly what I heard. It sounds like his transmission about to go.
All right. What about now?
Catalytic converter.
So
about rattle, rattle, thunder clatter, boom, boom, boom. Y'all remember that song from the commercial?
Nope. But I like that.
Maybe that was a Chicago thing.
It was.
Okay.
It had to
Sorry.
I like that.
All right, let me go with this other inbox I got. It's not a letter, but someone wanted us to talk about. They brought a scenario to us, and they wanted us to discuss it. They wanted to hear what we had to say about it. I think that's admirable when somebody wants to hear your thoughts on something going on in their life. All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Y'all ready?
Yes. Give it
Hell
to
yeah.
us.
Let's do it.
Ready.
All right, Mika, that's what I want to hear. Hell yeah. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Bring
All
it
right,
on.
I was really shocked when I got this inbox. And this came to my Finch at I am Harold Finch email. They said, "Hey man, I watched the show. What y'all think about this?" Here we go. My ex-husband called fussing at me. He recently bought our son a brand new Benz for his birthday, and as a graduation present. My current husband, wait a minute. My current husband had to get to work, so I told him to take my son's car because I had a couple of things to take care of and needed the Altima today. He ended up dropping my son off at practice and told him to call me when he was done with practice so I could pick him up. I overslept and missed my son's call to come and pick him up. My son called his dad, but his dad was out of town, so he ended up taking the city bus. This man called me fussing, saying I bought the car for my son, not some grown-ass man. I didn't like my son taking the bus. This is why I got him a car and paying the insurance and the car payments. I hung up on his ass. Am I wrong for letting my current husband use my son's car? I'm starting with Amber because I see the look on her face. I'm starting with Amber.
I was just trying to digest the story. I mean, like, I have a lot of questions. Like, how long have they been married? You know, how long has he been a part of this child's life? Like, I'm sorry, say it again.
Why does that matter?
Because I want to know what type of relationship he and this stepson has. You know, like I don't see an issue with him driving the car, but I see an issue with him not being available to pick the young man up when his practice was over. But personally, if you're living under my roof, you know, I don't know. That's touchy for me. You know,
that's touchy
for me. Yeah.
All right, Nate.
Yeah.
Nate, what you got? Come on, Nate. You on the fence? Come on, Nate.
If Nate ain't ready, I am.
Give me the story one more time, just to make sure I'm 100% clear.
Ooh.
Okay, Nate.
Please.
A woman wrote me and said her ex-husband called her fussing because he bought their son a new Benz for his birthday and a graduation present. Her current husband had to get to work. I'm assuming they only have one car, or his car wasn't working, not sure. But she had some stuff she had to do, so she couldn't take her current husband to work. So he took the son's Benz and dropped the son off at practice. Well, the son was supposed to call the mother to come get him. However, she overslept, so she didn't hear the call. The son called his dad. His dad was out of town. His dad is not the current husband. It's the ex-husband. So the son had to take the city bus home. The father called the mother, cussing or fussing her out because he said he bought the car for his son, not some grown-ass man, which is her current husband who used the son's car. So she wants to know, is she wrong because she hung up on her ex-husband because he was fussing at her about her letting her husband use his son's car?
Now, after the current husband dropped him off for school, when it was time for him to go home, practice.
Uh-huh.
When the son was ready to come home, mom was asleep. So I'm guessing the stepdad is still at work.
Correct.
I don't see anything wrong in that situation for him taking the son's car. I think the son should have called mom and current dad first before getting ex-dad involved in it, because I think it created some extra turmoil there. And I didn't hear mom admit anything wrong to oversleeping, because had she been awake, none of that would have happened. But going back to dad driving the car, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it.
Is the mother wrong for hanging up on the ex-husband because he fussed her out about letting her new husband drive his son's car?
Well, if he got disrespectful and was calling her out a name, probably yeah. But if he was just calling and making a point, I mean,
Nate.
I mean, seriously, people blow stuff out of proportion. I mean, of course he's gonna be mad, not because the dad drove the car, but because the son had to take a bus home.
Well,
when he had a gift, and I think that's where the real problem was. And if I were her, I would have probably just taken that L and kept it moving.
You would have taken the L and kept it. All right, Root.
Oh, thank you. I was like, if I got to sit through everybody, I was itching. Woman, whoever this woman that wrote this letter, you and your current husband are trifling.
Oh.
Both of y'all. That father bought his son a vehicle. He didn't buy you a second vehicle. He bought his son a vehicle to ensure that his son had transportation to do the things that he needed to do, and that he would no longer be inconveniencing you, your current husband, or have to take public transportation. You had absolutely no right to give that vehicle to your current husband. You are the one that should have been inconvenienced, not your son. I could understand if you and your ex-husband were sharing the financial responsibility of that vehicle. If you both went in to purchase the vehicle together, if you both were paying the insurance, then I would say, okay, there are going to be some times that happens. But that father took on that responsibility to ensure that his son was never put in the position that you and your current husband put him in. You trifling. He was right to cuss you out because you deserved it. And you are wrong for feeling like he should not have gone off on you. You put his son in a compromising position. What would have happened if something happened to his son after practice? Or if something would have happened to him taking a bus home? Or if your current husband would have gotten into a car accident in your son's vehicle? You should have gotten your butt up and taken your husband to work and then got up to pick him up from work. It doesn't matter how old your son is. His father purchased that for him. That's like you giving your son, your husband, ex-husband buys something for your son, like clothes or food, and you take it away from him and give it to your current husband. No, you're trifling. You're trifling. You owe that man an apology, and you also owe your son an apology because you put your son in a compromised position. I'm sure he didn't want to have to call his father, but he didn't have a choice because you didn't answer the phone. Mamas, put your phone ring on when you're not with your kids.
and the way you people.
I don't like when parents are not on point when it comes to their children. And I'm usually, a lot of times we hear about trifling parents when parents have divorced or separated, but it sounds like this father did everything right to ensure that his son was going to be taken care of. And it sounds like you didn't respect that.
Sounds like she did not respect that. All right, Mika.
100%. Like, that was trifling of the mother and the stepfather, because how were y'all getting it together with work and whatever before the son got this car? His father bought him that car. He did not buy it for you all. And it would have been a little bit better if he borrowed the car, took him to practice, and was out there immediately after practice to pick him up. So not only are you in this car that is not yours, you're not on the insurance, you're going to leave this. His daddy ensured he would never ride the bus again, and you just put him in a place to be on the bus again. And so were you wrong for hanging up the phone? Yes, you were, because you didn't want to hear the truth that was coming at you from that man that brought his son a car.
Okay. Wayne, what you got for me?
It is trifling. And he should have got his ass, took an Uber, and got his ass to work. Point blank. There's a lot of static. What you said?
The current husband should have taken an Uber.
Yeah, taking an Uber or Lyft. Don't put the son in that type of situation. You know you was running late. You know you didn't have no car. Jump your ass on the Uber or Lyft.
Why he didn't take public transportation? Why didn't he take the bus?
Who?
The current husband. Why couldn't he take the bus?
The current husband should have took an Uber, a Lyft, or a bus.
Yep.
Either one.
Yeah.
He should have left that alone. He knew he was running late, point blank.
Well, I don't think he was running late. I just think he didn't have his car. See, she didn't say. Let me make sure.
It really doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
He didn't have a car at the end of the day. Right. So either she should have gotten up and took him to work. He should have taken an Uber or Lyft, like Wayne said, or got his butt on the bus himself. But the last thing that should have happened was her current husband taking her son's vehicle that his father paid for.
Right.
And it's so strange, the question. You know how they say, answer the question, they want advice. The question was, should I be mad he hung up on me, and not was that situation a bad one to put my son in? You worried about a phone call disconnect. Like, the question should be, am I wrong for my husband and I putting the son in that position? And not, am I wrong for hanging up on me for putting me in my place for putting our son in that position?
I think that's a good point.
Let's flip the script. How would she feel if she had bought her son a vehicle and he would have given that vehicle to his new wife?
Turned up 100%.
Correct.
She'd be pissed off if his new chick was rolling around going to work in a whip that she done purchased for her son. So you'd be upset. You'd have a problem with that if your son had to take the bus and that was the reason why you purchased the vehicle. So no, you were wrong to hang up on him, and he was 100% right. The problem is you.
So let me say this, because I'm not going to even get into the whole car or if she was wrong for hanging up, because I'm with you, Root. I think that's irrelevant. And listen, let me say this disclaimer, ma'am. I thank you for sending that over to me. I really do. But you sent it over to me for me to get your ass off the fence. So this is what I got for you. I find it egregious when people don't see how wrong they are in scenarios. Look at this whole scenario. Your ex-husband bought a car for his son. Now, what kind of car it is, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter it's a Benz. Doesn't matter that you got an Altima. I see you put that in there. The fact that you and your current husband sounds like y'all got one car. So y'all needed to maneuver y'all's one car, because the other car, I think Root said this. He didn't buy this for you to have a second car. This car belongs to your son for him to get to and fro, and it's paid for by his father. Now, I think the panel will probably agree with this. I see this so much on social media where a lot of women are dogging men, and this man has taken on an extra bill. he has taken on the responsibility of making sure his child, your child as well, gets to and fro. You decided that it was a good idea for your husband to take your son's car because he didn't have a way to work and you had some stuff you had to do. So I agree with Wayne. Why didn't he take a Uber or a taxi? They still got taxis, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why didn't he take a taxi? Why was it even an option for him to take your son's car when I think Amber said this? He's not on the insurance.
Mhm.
Like, can y'all imagine what this would have been like had the current husband gotten in an accident or some sort and he's not on the insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait, hold on. I got a question though, because
Come on in here with your question.
I got a question. Now I'm talking about insurance, right? So if you have full coverage, that covers anybody who drives your car. I'm just playing devil.
Well, hold on. We got the insurance expert.
I mean, like that's how my insurance is set up because I wanted to be sure, I got full coverage and anybody who drives my car, they are fully covered. So had something happen, and I'm sure if this child is 17, 18, there is full coverage on a Benz. I can't even imagine what insurance is on a Benz for somebody 17 to 18. Exactly. So yeah, I'm sure they would have been all right, but yeah, I just want to talk about that insurance piece.
Well, let's talk about insurance because we got an insurance expert, Nate.
Definitely do.
Nate,
First of all, did I miss that part about the insurance?
you probably did. I don't know.
It wasn't in the letter.
Well,
It was something that we discussed in our answers.
Well, no, it was in the letter. The
Yeah,
father
it was in the
pays the insurance and the car note.
Right.
He pays everything for the car for the son. So that
Right, but the conversation about us saying that the father wasn't on the insurance was discussed during the panel
yeah, I'm
response.
sure.
Yeah. Well, she said the father said he didn't like his son taking the bus. This is why I got him a car and paying the insurance and the car payments. And then she hung up when he said that. She said hung up on his ass. Am I wrong?
Yes.
What was said? It broke up a little bit.
She said I hung up on his ass.
She wanted to know if she was wrong.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to make sure if she's listening. The answer is yes.
Yeah, she was wrong.
She wanted to know if she.
Nate, what happened, man? What you do?
Why is that the sun?
The sun is coming through all of a sudden.
Where do you
Now I'm
live?
looking
Puerto
out
Rico? You live in Puerto Rico? It's pitch black here. You said a good. You where the sun coming from?
I
Nate?
need to go fix that real quick.
Wait a minute. Mika, I'm with you. Nate, where you live at? Where you at today?
That look like that Florida sun.
Oh, I'll be back right quick.
I'm from St. Petersburg. That look like that Florida sun.
He disappeared. Look.
Nate said he was going to close the blinds. Wait a minute. So is it
trying
not?
to figure out how Nate got sun. He's 40 minutes away from me, and we done had rain and clouds all day.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Oh god.
There was a tornado warning through here earlier today.
Really? With that sunshine? Tornado? Tornado.
We get off pretty easy. You know?
Hey, Nate, can he answer that question about the insurance? Because I see someone says if you're not insured on a policy, you're not covered in an accident.
So that's what it is for mine. Let's hear what Nate has to say.
Yeah.
Nate, what you got on that insurance, bro?
Let me address what Gray wrote right there.
Nate, what's going on with your Wi-Fi?
Let me address that right quick.
That's that tornado.
Yeah.
Nate, your Wi-Fi
If you're a
is
primary
acting up, man.
insured, if you're primary
Nate.
insured on your car and you label.
Hey, is it me or is it Nate?
It's definitely Nate.
Okay, I'm gonna say like
In his defense, if he is in Augusta, we've been having some really bad wind and weather, and my internet was spotty earlier
okay
too.
now?
So yeah, you're better now.
all right, Nate. We didn't hear nothing you were saying, Nate. You're not
Do
better.
I need to come back?
Yeah, come back.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Nah, Nate. Come back, Nate.
That's because you asked an insurance question.
We can't hear him, but it definitely looked like he had a lot of great points because he was like.
About now.
So I'm definitely visually feeling everything he said. Everything he said
I
visually.
was just saying that when it comes to car insurance,
Nate, we heard
if you let me
nothing.
have a-
We
Huh?
heard nothing, Nate. Nate, get your internet together.
doesn't make somebody else as
It ain't doing it. Hey, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, hopefully Nate and his sunshine and his bad Wi-Fi has something else to say, because I'm with Mika. He looked like he was making some really good points. It's off the fence. I'm Finch. We'll be right back.
Everything you need to make summer funner. Expect more, pay less.
Oh yeah. Somebody making a phone call. Hey, welcome back to Off the Fence. I'm Finch. Listen, make sure you guys are liking and sharing. Like it and sharing. We're having a great conversation. We're talking about an inbox that I got this week. A woman wanted to know if she was wrong because she let her ex-husband drive her son's car, and her ex-husband, but she let her current husband drive her son's car that her ex-husband bought her. And when he called her, fussing her out about it because the son called her because he wasn't picked up, she hung up on him. So she wanted to know if she was wrong. And Nate was about to answer a question concerning insurance because we talked about the current husband not being on the insurance. Now, you guys talk about, I think Amber said this, well, we don't know if he was, goddamn well, the current husband is not on that man's insurance.
Covered. If you have full coverage, whoever drives your car is covered. That's what I said.
Oh, you said
not that he's on the insurance. Of course not. At least that's what my Allstate woman told me.
What's she telling you?
She told me if my godson or whoever drives my car, that they are covered.
I don't know about that one because I know I have cousins with teenagers now, and they're talking about how their insurance skyrocketed because they had to, add them on there as a driver to the vehicle to be covered. Because I know it goes up badly when you have a teenager added on your policy, and if they could just be covered under what you're saying, none of them would do that. None of them. It adds a lot.
So I think it depends on the insurance you have because, in the insurance I've had in the past, and I believe it's the same way with what we have now, if anyone's driving our car and we get into an accident, it covers whomever is driving. But you do have to have whoever is covered in the household that has a driver's license covered. So we didn't put our daughter on. We have a Mercedes. One of our vehicles is a Mercedes, and we were not going to put her on because we knew our insurance was going to go up. They contacted us and they were like, hey, you got a driver. We're adding her, and it goes up. So it's high, but if they don't live with you and they get into an accident, they're definitely covered.
All right. Gray DD Michelle says they have to be listed as a driver on the policy. Michelle, are you in the insurance? If you are, can you come on here and give us some insight on that? We'll see. We can send you the code so you can come on. So
actually, she's right too. It does. Yeah. It covers the vehicle, not the driver. But if the driver's driving and something happens, it will take care of the driver. But typically, the driver will have to file like a lawsuit against the insurance or something. Or a claim, not a lawsuit, a claim against the insurance.
Did you say a lawsuit?
Yeah, a claim.
Yeah,
they will file a claim against the insurance.
Suing people in these streets.
We with you.
No, I like Lisa's comment too. She's luckily, like the dad, I guess, wasn't available that he didn't report the car stolen, and both of you,
yeah,
irresponsible people.
Would that not be petty though?
I think it was petty for letting your husband drive your son's Mercedes. You should have took him to work in your Altima.
Right.
Ooh. And
I love Altimas. So.
Y'all are so funny. All right. Let me go to the
Nate is back.
Has anything else y'all want to add to that one?
Oh, look at Nate in a whole different environment.
Right. Nate, where you moved to?
Look good.
Nate, look at what Nate. Look, Nate got a lot of sun.
You got a lot of nice stuff. Where you get that stuff from?
we could hear you before. We just could. You were stuck.
Yeah, and I feel like your doctor. I'm like looking down on you. You have to bring it down.
He's on his security cameras in his house. He's only talking. Y'all see the little black thing around the edges, the little vignette?
You're breaking up badly, Finch.
Yeah, you
my
are.
Goodness, come on
It's
now.
you. It's you. It's not us. It's you.
I don't know how it's me.
It sounds like you have a short in your
You
mic.
have to self-reflect. Sometimes it can be you.
It could be me sometimes. Let me see.
You got that Teddy Riley setup happening over there.
Ooh,
that's worse. See, it's you.
All right, what about now?
Perfect.
That's great. Perfect.
See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? ATL, boy. All right, Nate, where you at, man?
All right, am I good now?
Okay, yeah, Nate. Let's hit an insurance response.
Okay. Basically, what I was saying is that when it comes to car insurance, you have a primary insurer that's a full-time driver.
Hold on, Nate. You talking through your security camera. We don't know what you saying now.
No, I heard him clear.
Oh, I couldn't hear. All right, go ahead, Nate. I'm sorry. Y'all see the look Nate just gave me?
What else can I do? But seriously, if you're gonna have somebody as a regular driver, that's when you add them as primary, secondary, and tertiary driver. Now, if you're gonna be the only one on your policy, you can still have an incidental driver. You know, if they just gonna borrow your car one day or whatever, and that would still cover. But if that person is like a regular driver, even though they're not supposed to be, then that's when you start getting into trouble. So in the particular case with the husband borrowing the son-in-law's car, even though he's not insured on it, if something were to happen that day, it would have been all right. But if he was like just driving it day after day, insurance companies have people who investigate that kind of thing, and that could very well invalidate the policy, and the person wind up having to pay out of pocket for those costs. So when you do that kind of thing, you got to be careful.
Did we lose Finch?
Yeah. So that was great.
Yes, we agree. We agree with you, Nate.
Y'all heard what Nate said?
We heard everything. It was different than
it
before
was
with the audio. And why I gotta be up on the main screen?
Because you talking.
Oh, that's what happened. So yeah, Nate's clear, but now I have an echo.
See, it's Nate.
Finch.
It's you, Finch.
It's not me.
You're the problem.
I don't have an echo.
You have to accept this, that you're the common denominator.
Do not have an echo, ma'am.
When you left, it was good.
It was not. I was still here.
No. See
All right. All right. Let me move on to my next one. We got another one here. I think this one is gonna break some hearts, especially those who got kids. I don't really know how to address this. It's in our one shot. It's coming up right now. I've been depressed. I'm 13. My mom is 33. Things at school were never great. I'm sort of short, so I get picked on some, but it was manageable. That was until one of my classmates showed me a picture of my mom naked. I almost had a panic attack and had to be excused from the classroom. I ended up not showing up to school for a few days, faking sick. I was hoping that things would cool off, but they didn't. As soon as I got to school, almost everyone in my class was staring and laughing at me. This has been going on for about a week now. I was wondering how my classmates even got pictures, and apparently my mom advertises her OnlyFans on her personal Twitter account. Some students from my school follow her, so they were able to see the news, and they have been spread everywhere. And I don't even have a Twitter, so I didn't know about any of this. The worst part is when I confronted my mom about this, she told me that I was overreacting and that sex work is basically the same as working at a bank or a grocery store. She also said it makes her feel good about herself and that I should be happy that she's more confident now. I told the principal, but they can't suspend thousands of students or take anyone's phones. I've been crying in my room every day for the past week. I don't think I can take it anymore. Who want to go first? Nate.
Okay, first thing I gotta ask. It sounds to me like.
Okay, Nate, you are a little
Yeah,
muffled.
How about now? Is that better?
Not really.
What about now?
No difference, Nate.
So it's so far.
It's horrible. All right, let me go to Mika. I'll come back to Nate.
Oh.
Hand signals or what?
So what was the actual question?
He didn't have a question. He says he's been depressed and suicidal because of his mom's OnlyFans. You have a child, so I mean, you know.
I'm ready whenever.
Yeah, no, because I don't think I want you to come back. So I don't know. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Root.
You want to go to Root? Okay.
I got a question. Why are the children following his mama?
Hey, his mama probably got that donkey. They seen her at the schoolhouse. You know how people are these days.
But you said at 13.
Hey, it don't matter.
These kids advance.
Yep.
Yeah.
But how do you, nothing? I got a lot of questions. Go ahead. I read this story yesterday. Go ahead, Ruth.
Baby, is this a girl or a boy? I think I missed that.
We don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna assume.
He said he. I thought it was a son.
Yeah, I think it's a son. It's a boy.
We don't know. I read it yesterday. It doesn't specify.
Doesn't specify, but
can I say something to the? I don't know. I'm guessing the mother doesn't follow, but I want to speak to like the parents that are watching this. I had this conversation with some girlfriends of mine not too long ago. I have never, ever, 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 ever done a video or posed nude for anything. And I'm 45. And I don't knock anybody that does it. I think if that's your preference, that's fine. But my reasoning was always I was raised differently. I was raised as it's just something you don't do as a lady. And I was also taught that I never wanted my father to ever see me in a compromising position. And I was fearful of my children ever seeing that part of me. That's something that's supposed to be safe for someone that I'm intimate with, right? So saying that, baby, I feel so bad that you have been exposed to the negligence and ignorance of your mother. I'm not going to in any way try to sugarcoat. I know she's your mom. I'm sure you love her very much. And she may be a great provider and do a lot of things to nurture you and bring you up. But this in itself, a disregard for how this can emotionally trigger you, the effects of you being teased at school, those kids are ignorant. There's really nothing that we can say to you that's going to make this okay. Finch, can you repeat what this young teenager's question was? Not the details.
Didn't have a question.
Just giving us the details of what's wrong. Baby, your mama is wrong. And unfortunately, you still got a little bit more time that you have to live in the house with her. I would encourage you to maybe reach out to some other family members that play a mentoring role in your life and see if they can kind of help you figure out how to navigate in this environment. What your mom is doing is wrong. There are so many ways to make money, and you can explore your sexuality that doesn't directly affect your children. Why your mother doesn't understand that, no one can explain that but herself. But right now, it's about you trying to figure out how you can create a peaceful space for yourself, and not let these other kids and their comments really affect you. And I think the only way that you can probably do that would be by talking to other adults that are responsible, that can kind of give you some advice.
Okay.
But your mama is trifling.
Ooh, not trifling.
Trifling.
Wayne,
and
what you got? Disrespectful and trifling. Okay.
Definitely disrespectful. Ruth said it all. They don't really have nothing else to say after that. That's hard to come
up. For the conglomerate. All right, Amber, you had some questions.
Yeah, I mean they're not in that letter, so we they're hypothetical.
What's your question? Ask them.
I mean, no,
and ask them.
I don't want to ask them, because they can't be answered. We just be speculating and assuming. But
give me one of them.
Why I asked it? Like, why are the children? Who is the mama? How do they know the mama? Why are they following the mama? Like, how? I've been a school teacher, right? None of my students follow me.
How you know?
Because I don't allow it. My pages are private, so I don't allow my students.
Well,
to follow
OnlyFans is like open, so all they have to do is get their little Cash App card and subscribe to his mother's page. And kids have phones, and parents aren't monitoring them.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's my thing to you, Amber, because I want you to think about it in this scope, right? So he got a mama that's apparently fine, or else she wouldn't be doing the OnlyFans, right?
No, that's not true.
Definitely not true.
That's not
It's
true.
unfortunate.
I just found the lie, sir.
I done seen some unfortunate people with OnlyFans pages.
Okay. So mama don't have to be fine to have OnlyFans.
Nope. No. Just breathing, and for some people, some no. Just need a heartbeat for some.
Okay, so here's my question. We're talking about how the kids got to the mama, right? I mean, all it really takes is a search on Twitter or on social media anyway to find anybody when their pages are not private like yours, Amber. Because can't nobody find you because you are incognito. So when you think about that, right? So let's talk about how they found her. What about when he comes to her in tears, or when the child comes to the mother in tears, suicidal, depressed? Mama, why you can't take down your OnlyFans? And she's saying, make me feel good. What you got to say to that, Amber?
Oh, it ends. Like, if my child comes to me with any type of issue and it's causing them any type of harm, it's coming to an end. Because at the end of the day, it's no longer, from what I know, what I've been told, I can only go by what my mother showed me because I don't have any children. But my mother certainly, once I came into this world, like everything kind of stopped for her and the sacrifices were made for me. Right. So as a parent, if my child comes to me and tells me that they have any type of issue with anything that I'm doing and it's causing them harm, whether in school or with their friends, it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end, and then we're going to address this, and we're going to seek some counseling, especially if it's gotten to the point where you're talking about committing suicide, you're being taunted at school. It's gotten extremely deep, and we have to go a step further than me just shutting down my OnlyFans. We need some professional help.
I'm glad you said that. That because I think that's the thing that I think the parent could be missing. Now
I don't think she's going to accept it, though. The fact that your child can come to you, we know that she needs professional help. But if you ignore your kid telling you that they're traumatized emotionally, and you don't even acknowledge that, you come with excuses and try to justify your ignorance, you're not going to go to therapy because you don't see a problem with it. And those are the same type of people that disregard the growth of their kids. They don't understand that their children are really humans that need to be respected. You're not raising a child, you're raising an adult, and you're raising an adult to not respect you.
And when it comes to suicide, a lot of times I hear and see a lot of parents like, I just wish I would have known. If I would have known, maybe blah, blah, blah. This child has come to you and said, this is how I'm feeling. So if something was to happen, you can't even have that. Like, I wish I would have known. He was very transparent with his feelings, and you decided to discard them. And that makes your mother trifling, as Diana said. And I just hope you can get the help you need to stay here, because you're your mother, but you're not your mother. You can be better than her.
You are better than her already.
Okay. Good job putting it out there. All right, Nate, you back?
Is my connection good here now?
It's great, Nate.
Your picture look good, but I think your audio is.
Oh, he said, let me take these glasses off because this is where it is.
Right. Nate giving us face.
As far as what this kid is going through at school, I've been busy working around trying to find cables and other stuff to try to get my tech right. So I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of what people said. But if it were me, if he's watching, yeah, your mom is being selfish. I feel like she's probably trying to recapture something she felt like she lost in her youth or whatever. But I don't know. Has he said anything about trying to reach out to his dad or something to that effect, or another adult?
Have not mentioned father at all. Could
no
possibly be
aunts,
not in the picture.
Anything?
Nobody. Didn't mention anybody.
So he's got nobody, no other adult he can confide in.
Don't know.
It wasn't outlined in the story.
Because at this point, with her telling him what I heard her say, if I were him, I'd probably be trying to go with my dad or somewhere else, because he needs to change school. That might be severe, but there's no way he'll ever live that down. And he didn't do anything wrong. Yet he has to walk around with this stigma attached to him now. And for her to not feel like there's anything wrong with it, I mean, that's a dead avenue. There's nothing you can do with that. So I hope the young man has an aunt or an uncle or somebody else who he can talk to, who he can maybe go, I don't know, transfer to another school or something. Because at this point, I mean, we've seen young people taking their lives over stuff like this. And I would hate for it to get that far. So, Mom, if you're watching, think about your son. Think about your son. I mean, he's your primary responsibility now, not your ego. And for you to think you're hot just because you're on OnlyFans, you know, not all attention is good attention, especially if you walking through the mall and these kids walking by you laughing. I mean, what kind of adulting is that? I feel sorry for the young man. I do. That's my 10 cents.
Finch, I remember, you know, my oldest son is 25, and I can remember when he was in middle school, he came home furious because the kids on the basketball. I've always been an involved parent at the school. I went to the school with some yoga pants on. To me, that's not a big deal because I wear them often. But he was traumatized because the boys on the basketball court were talking about how big his mama booty was. Ooh. He was furious. He wanted to fight because he's like, that's my mama. So when he came home, he was like, Ma, don't ever come up to my school in no pants again. So I had to start trying to wear something else, or if I wore them, I wore a really, really long shirt to make sure that it covered my butt. But those are things that you do because you want to make sure. But I also taught him how to fight with words. You know, I was like, talk about their mama, you know, get them back, you know, fight petty with petty.
That was your answer?
That was my answer.
I
Yeah,
like it.
and
Good
I'm
answer.
proud of it.
Good
And I stick
answer.
with it.
Snap that. Like
That
a
was
hat.
my
Snap
answer.
that.
Because at the same time, I wanted him to understand that you got to have tough skin. People are always going to have something to say. And I'm not going to continue to alter something about me just because it makes you uncomfortable. Now, in some instances, I'm not going to do anything that's going to, if there's something that I can actually change, like wearing some yoga pants and a t-shirt because these kids are making you feel uncomfortable talking about your mama, I can alter that.
Mm-hmm.
But you better learn how to talk about their mama too. In some kind of way. You're going to be petty and you're going to let it roll off. But still, you try to figure out how to make sure that your kids are not uncomfortable.
Okay.
I feel so bad for this baby.
Yeah. And you know, and Amber, didn't you say you work in the educational field? What kind of resources you think someone like this could utilize?
Well, definitely there's a counselor in the school, grade level counselor. And I was going to say a grief counselor. At my particular school, there was a grief counselor that lived in the building as well. And so there are resources for children that are having issues. We do try to make sure that children advocate for themselves, you know, but 9 times out of 10, if you're in tune teacher, you can see when something is going on with the student, you know. And for me, I could always just pull the child to the side. Hey, let's talk what's going on. And it would just be a flood of everything. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I got to make a decision whether I take this to the higher ups or I keep this between me and this student. And we try to work this thing out together. So it really can put you in a very unique situation. And so you have to be careful with situations like this. But for sure, I would be seeking help from the school counselor who they would assess the situation, go to the home, and then see if they need to get someone else involved.
Ooh, y'all talking about getting her child taken away.
Yeah, and that's tough as an educator to be in that situation.
Yeah,
it's really tough.
Let me tell you the part that I want to address now is her saying that being a sex worker is the same as working at a bank or a grocery store.
She a lie. She's delusional. But most trifling people are.
I guess so. Because it is kind of like a bank. I guess she got people making deposits.
Transactions, deposit withdrawals.
There's some deposits being made.
And withdrawals.
Withdrawals.
I can't with you.
I'm here all day.
Get this lady another drink.
Hey, pronto. Get her another drink. Pronto. All right, so that takes me into the reason why, and the reason why I brought that up was that hit Nate. That hit him late, y'all. It hit him late.
No, it wasn't late. I was just like, wow.
He thought about it for a second. When I hear that, let's talk about sex for a second, right? Is that someone who has discounted sex and sees sex a little differently than what sex actually is? Because a lot of times people are, when it comes to sex and sex entering a relationship, do y'all think we see sex differently than it actually is in this day and time?
Some people.
Yeah.
Some people are still with the old times and the old traditions about sex and what sex means. Mm-hmm. It's 2021. Sex means a lot of different things, a plethora of things for different people.
All right. So I'm going to ask you this question, Mika. When it comes to sex, if you have sex with someone, does that make you guys exclusive? Before you answer, hold that thought, because that's our fireside chat right now. Y'all, Mika, you in the hot seat. So if we have sex, are we now exclusive?
Absolutely. Because until you leave, it's just you and I. Because after that, no, that does not mean we have to be exclusive just because we have sex. That people confuse sex and relationships, and there's not even a thin line between the two. It's the sea that Moses part between the two. People can have sex and not need commitment, and that's just it.
All right, Wayne. Wayne, what are your thoughts? Sex. If you have sex with a woman, do you consider you guys to be exclusive? Are you expecting her not to have sex with anybody else? Are you not having sex with anybody else? Weigh in. Give me your thoughts.
No. If we just having sex, we just having sex. That doesn't mean we're exclusive. Ain't nobody talked about any of that after we had sex. You go about your business after that. Or we could talk to see if we want to do this again, but still, ain't nobody put no label on nothing.
So Wayne, do you do a lot of talking during sex?
No. I said after the part.
So y'all do the negotiation and have your conversation in the middle of the act? Is that what goes on?
Only thing you talking about is how you want it done, how you feel. Doing
Okay.
the sex act.
All
After
right.
you finish sex, and you could discuss it if you want to be exclusive or not.
Okay. So does one necessarily lead to the other? Like, does exclusivity lead to sex, or does sex lead to exclusivity?
No.
Okay. Wayne, neither or. Okay. Nate.
Yes, sir.
I got to hear from Nate. He got his lighting right. He got his audio back up. So Nate, now I know.
There we go.
Let me get my mind right here. So does sex equal we're now exclusive? Are you the type of person that if you have sex with a person, that's the only person you want to have sex with? Or no?
It's a case by case basis. For some people, it can just be
case.
It can just be, smash and keep it moving. With some other people, it can be an exclusive thing. To me, that's a conversation you have before you make it to the bed, so there are no misunderstandings during or afterwards.
Okay. So Nate, are you a smash and dance guy?
I can be, but not always.
Okay. Nate said he can be a smash and dash, but if you have sex with a woman, if you guys haven't discussed whether or not you're gonna be exclusive after the sex, then it should not be assumed that just because we had sex, just because we smashed, that means we together.
Correct.
Okay. Root.
I think it depends.
On?
There are some situations where you may be out and intoxicated and you may meet somebody and you can have a one night stand. And in those instances, you may not talk about what you really want until after the deed is done, because you ain't had time to think about all of that. But then there are times that you meet people that you may decide that you need to discuss exactly what it is that you're looking for in a relationship. There are some people that may still be trying to heal themselves and not want to be in an exclusive relationship. They may want to just see what options are out there and be able to sleep with other people if that's their choice. Mm-hmm. I think I wish there could be just one answer, but really there's not, because everybody kind of peoples differently. And so it depends on what your past experiences are and what it is that you're looking for, how it is that you want to move forward. Do I want to be just with you? Maybe you don't make me have maybe your head is better than his, his stroke, but honestly, that's the truth. There are some people who feel I have people that I know that actually get different sexual satisfactions from different partners. And so if that is what works for you, but you don't really want to be committed to any of them, then that's your prerogative. So there's really not a good answer. I think all of us have different experiences on what we want. So it just depends.
You got a fan. Somebody said you're beautiful. But listen, brother, her name
thank
is on
you.
the screen. You don't know how to spell it. It's on the screen right now.
I got them tongue tied.
Ooh, tying up tongues. Amber.
Tying up tongues.
Listen,
Thank you.
penetration is not confirmation.
That part.
I like
Say it
that.
again.
I like
Say that.
Penetration is not confirmation.
One more time. They ain't hear you, honey. They ain't hear you.
Penetration is not confirmation. You
Can
know?
I get an amen?
Amen. Sometimes you
Amen.
just need a little bird, you know, and sometimes that little
bird.
bird fly on by and, you know, keep it moving. That's why he's a birdie. He can keep flying, right? I don't need you to linger. Don't call me. I'll think about calling you. You know, like for real. Sometimes it is like just what I need in the moment. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm looking for any type of ship, you know, situationship, relationship, entanglement ship, none of it. You know, sometimes you just want to get your rocks off and keep it moving. And sometimes, as Ruth said, you know, you get certain stimulation from different sexual partners, you know what I mean? And that's all right. That's all right. You know, God has given us free will.
Can I get an amen?
To do whatever we
Amen,
want to do. You know? So, here we are.
I just got one question for you. Are you related to Jesse Jackson?
I am somebody.
You said penetration does not equal confirmation.
No,
I like that.
It does not. It does not.
We got us a new one-liner. I like that.
It doesn't. You know, I dated a guy, and you know, our very first date, we went out and we talked about. I said what I wanted and what I was looking for. He said what he wanted and what he was looking for. And so as we started moving along, I'm assuming that you are now acting on the things I told you I was looking for, right? But there was never a discussion of we are exclusive, right? We just started operating in that manner as if we were boyfriend and girlfriend without putting an actual label on it. And I'll be honest, one night I was about to go over and spend the night at his house, and I was going down the steps, and my mama said, I got a question for you. I said, yes. She said, has he asked you to be his woman yet? I was like, girl, I don't need no title. And this is what I say. I don't need no title, girl. I'm just living. We just doing what we do. No, has he asked you to be his woman yet? I said, no, Mom, he hasn't. And she just said, okay. And left it at that. Now, this is now a year later. He and I have parted ways, and I now understand the question. I understood it then, but I now understand the question.
Elaborate. Hey, you opened your mouth and said it. Elaborate.
As in elaborate on what I mean by now understanding the question.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I understood, you know, I certainly understood the question, but then there was a moment when I was like, okay, so what are we doing? How are we moving forward? Because we've been at this for 8 months now. And his response to me was, I cannot give you
what you need.
No, he said, I can't give you what you're worthy of. And in that moment, because I have to be honest, I was just there for the bird, right? I was just like, okay, but we still getting ready to try to make this work. You know how we think that we can change their minds and hearts. And when a man tells you that he can't give you what you're worthy of and what you deserve.
Wait, I don't think they heard you outside of the forest. Say that again. Say that again.
Baby, when he tells you, you know, like, hey, I can, and it wasn't that, and I'm not making excuses for him. It wasn't that he couldn't give me what I deserved or what I needed. It was that he didn't want to put in the work. He didn't want to do the work to be the king of this queen that he wanted. Oh yeah, so yeah, you got to put in the work, bro, because I'm bringing all the queendom. You know, got to put in the work.
You bringing everything to the jungle.
I am, and I'm not trying to wear the pants. I understand submission. I understand what that looks like. You know.
That's what you give them out here. Giving that.
And Meek got the background.
Hey, I'm in here feeling like Toucan Sam. Okay.
Oh Lord,
little bird. Let me fly to the Okay, so sex does not mean we are exclusive. Many of you guys have said it's the conversation that should be had beforehand. But what happens when it doesn't? When the conversation, let's say, never takes place, like it didn't happen before we had sex, didn't happen after we had sex, but like Amber said, we just got kind of been moseying along. Now here's my next question, y'all. Do we make the assumption because, let's say, for instance, me and you have sex? I'm just saying you in general, any woman out there, right? Let's say, for instance, okay, after the day we have sex, we are getting up together, we're having more sex, and now we are months in. Just because me and you kick it and have sex, is it safe for her to assume that me and her are together, although we never had the conversation?
No, because assuming only makes an ass out of you and me. Like whatever that.
No, it makes an ass out of you. I'm not an ass. It makes an ass out of you.
Because what Amber said, penetration does not equal confirmation. People say, oh, you behave as a girlfriend or boyfriend. We was going to the movies. I go to the movies with my girlfriends and male friends. Oh, we was staying the night. Like, that sounds like a sleepover. Don't assume because people are doing things that y'all are committed. Right. Nothing means you're committed until you all express the words that we're committed. Oh, but I met his mama. Okay, he could still, you all could still be dating separately and you meet his mom. He may just think your mother, you're somebody he wants the mother to meet. But don't assume you're in an exclusive relationship until it's been outlined that you're in one.
Right.
All right, who else got something they want to add to that? Nate, and then I go to Root.
I'd just like to add to this that although there is,
Sorry, I think my internet I was saying something, but I didn't realize my internet was acting up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Even though there's all of this room for gray area, I think it's incumbent on people to be proactive in being clear about these things. You know, just letting stuff, I don't know, proliferate without being clear what it is. That's I can't think of a better word other than cowardice, because you got to remember, this isn't sex. This is your body. Okay, this is your health. A lot of stuff comes into this, and if you're not going to be clear with this other person, I mean, come on, y'all. It doesn't have to be that way. In my opinion, if you're a man and you look at that woman and you know what you want from her, you tell her what you want from her. You let her know. I mean, don't beat around the bush with this stuff, man. Come on.
Okay, Lisa Marie says not communicating things in the beginning allows for people to play games with emotions. Is that true?
Agree 100%, Lisa Marie.
Mm-hmm.
I agree 100%.
Root, you had something you want to add to that?
Yeah. I want to say I agree with Lisa Marie, but yeah, I believe that if we're sleeping together, there has to be some type of conversation, even if that conversation is, I don't want to be exclusive. I just want to have fun every now and then. When I call you, you tell me if you're available. If you call me, I'll tell you if I'm available. We get together and no strings attached. And if you want to expand that into spending quality time together, you can. But unless you both agree that you're exclusive with one another, then it doesn't match, or it's not happening. And I'm not going to allow you to assume that we're together just because you have feelings.
Ooh, that's a whole different type of hurt.
A lot of people aren't ready for that either.
You say what, Nate?
A lot of people aren't ready for that.
Yeah, assume. So do we feel like a good portion of people assume because they now have caught feelings versus the other person. Because oftentimes, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, the feelings are not mutual. I don't get what kind of discussions y'all have. Just because you catch deep feelings at all, that doesn't mean someone else feels the same exact way you feel in the scenario. They could just enjoy having sex with you, but that doesn't mean they want a relationship with you.
Correct.
Yeah, but a lot of people are emotionally immature.
Ooh.
So they get into relationships and start having sex with people, and they don't even know why the hell they're doing it to begin with. So we're talking about people that are not even ready to have sex with someone, that are having sex, and then they're taking on the emotions of a emotionally mature person, and they end up fucking the whole thing up
because they're emotionally unstable.
Correct.
Well, you know what that leads to? Our next topic, emotional intelligence. Is it important in relationships? That's our talk of the town right now. All right, so since you're in the hot seat already, Root, emotional intelligence. A lot of people, well, here's the thing about emotional intelligence. The vast majority of people don't even know what it means, let alone have a grasp on what it is and how to operate. You hear a lot of people talking about it in the workforce because someone with a high level of emotional intelligence are great leaders and people tend to listen to them. But do you think people in our society, especially with your comment you just said, a lot of people are fucking but are not even emotionally equipped and ready to be fucking? So do you think it's because they're not emotionally intelligent in that sense, or is it because they just don't know what that word means?
I think it's both. And can I correct you? A lot of emotionally intelligent people are not.
Me.
Huh?
You can't correct me.
Oh, I'm correcting you. Not all emotionally intelligent people are great leaders. There are some people that are great leaders that have great leadership skills, but they are still emotionally immature.
Well, I never said that. I didn't say that.
I thought that's what you just said. Well, you said what was the first thing you said?
There's a lot of people
wrong, y'all?
That don't listen well because I didn't say that. That ain't
you
what I
said. Emotionally intelligent people are great leaders.
We heard you. We heard him, Root. Go ahead.
Okay.
He said that.
Play the tape.
I was like, hold on. You said emotionally intelligent people are usually great leaders.
Hold on. Root, Mika. Last time y'all bet against me, y'all lost.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Y'all sure y'all want to bet against me?
Yeah, that's why you're breaking up.
Right.
Exactly. Snap, crackling, popping over there.
Okay. So, and I think my internet is spotching a little bit, so I apologize.
Yeah, mine's too.
Yeah, I think it has to storm. Here's the thing. I think that these people who have issues with committing to relationships or not committing. Your question was to repeat that question again, just so I can make sure I answer it appropriately.
I'm older now. I don't remember the question.
It's on paper.
I don't remember the question.
It was emotional intelligence in relationships and talking about sex. And so the question was, okay. You back on track?
Yeah,
all right.
I got you. All right. So I think that emotional intelligence is definitely important before you decide to start having sex with people. Because if you are not emotionally ready to handle the complications that can come with having sex with someone, then you're going to end up fucking it up. Either you're going to become too involved, you're going to misread a situation, you're going to possibly make comfortable, not really know how to handle the diversity within a relationship, and you're not going to be able to accept the fact if things don't work the way that you expected them to. Why are you laughing? What'd I do?
Why is he laughing?
I'm sorry. I was reading the text message. Sorry.
Oh. I can't. I'm like, what'd I say?
Right, and I'm looking at your face. I thought you had a boogie or something.
Right, you see me getting closer to the screen.
I was like, rude.
Oh, God. I cannot today.
You better read that text message on this show.
I better not. That's something I'm not going to do. I'm sorry, Root. My apologies to you and your fans.
It's all right. I'm gonna let you pass because you were wrong on your own show, so I'm gonna give you that one. I don't want you to. I had to give you opportunity to redeem yourself.
I like multitask.
So your fan says people think they can operate without feeling or the desire for more until it's good or better than expected.
Yep.
That's true. That's true.
Accurate. And that's the worst thing to do.
I agree. And I wish that men could just be honest up front, you know.
I wouldn't say men. Just say
I was gonna say I wish women would be up.
Just
I know I'm honest when I come to a man. I know I'm honest when I come to a man, so I need him to be honest up front. I can only, speak for.
There's a lot of us out here that's honest, Amber.
You're not honest up front. It's a lot of you who all aren't. If I come and I say this is what I want, and you aren't man enough to say, well, all right, I just want us to be a booty call. I just want us to hook up every now and then, instead of leading me down a path, making me think you want to be in a relationship with me. You're doing relational things, and then when I hit you with, all right, so what we doing? Oh, no, Negro, you should have been like, hey, listen, all we need to do is just smash and keep it moving.
But no, the women got to do the same though. The women at the beginning, they got to be like, hey, all I want to do is get married and have your children and have a White House with a picket fence. Like, so you need to say the same way he says he needs to smash. She needs to say, I want marriage. I want kids. I want that house. Like, I think both parties are lying, men and women.
I think a lot of times women say that though, but then when they say it, a man comes back and says, I'm just looking to have a good time. I'm looking to meet you. And because that woman typically is just desperate to kind of be in a relationship, or because the dick was good, now all of a sudden she feel like, oh, well, we could just see where this goes. And maybe after time, he'll change his mind. And then you find yourself in this relationship that you already knew wasn't the right relationship from the beginning. So you're entering into relationships with false expectations. You see all the red flags, but your favorite color is red. And you haven't set any standards for yourself that you want to that you actually want to hold true to. So it's usually the women. Men are a problem too, but many times when men are honest, women just choose to ignore their honesty.
I agree.
I'm gonna say this because I despise when people say men or women this. No, it's the no good ass men and women you've been dealing with that ain't honest. Because a good portion of us are. I'm honest. I tell you what I want up front. So there is I don't
have that problem. Let me just say that.
No gray areas. Because you know what? I don't want your ass on the fence. That's the whole point. I don't want you on the fence. So
there you go.
I'm gonna tell you up front if I want to just smash, if you got what I'm looking for or not. If we decide to still hang around each other as adults, that's an adult decision. I do not punish adults for making adult decisions, by the way. So, I think Mika said this. It's not his fault that you thought, oh, he gonna change, or I can help him, or I can help him improve. You cannot, ma'am. You cannot, sir. So, Wayne, where Wayne at? Is he still here?
He's buffering.
He's buffering. Wayne's buffering. Oh,
Nate, climb into this conversation, man. I like the fact that we have an even amount of men and women this week.
Got to keep it balanced, man.
Had.
For the emotional intelligence piece, I agree that it is a necessary thing, not just for sex, but for overall harmony in the choice you choose to make, whether it's smashing or not. And emotional intelligence is tricky. It's really tricky because a lot of people don't know what it is, much less have it, but yet we still out here smashing anyway. So I thought that en route to developing that emotional intelligence, which is really understanding yourself first before you can really understand others, a certain level of empathy has to be in there. Because even if you don't totally understand yourself, if you can pick up on what somebody else may or may not be saying, because they do say that communication is 90-something% nonverbal. If you're just kind of in the moment and try to be in tune with the other person, you can eliminate a lot of the misunderstandings. I mean, if you really care to do that. So.
Okay. Who is that? Is that Mika?
She falling over there. It's okay.
Falling around. It's just a bad night. Everybody's having technical problems.
I did not fall. I thought I muted my mic.
It's the storms.
You did not. We heard you flushed the toilet and then smoked your weed and all that.
No, baby was like, "Did you wash your hands for 20 seconds?" Like, yeah, like.
I love it.
All right, guys, we got another letter. It's Ask Finch right now. Oh, I like this one. All right, so of the women here tonight, how many of y'all in y'all 30s? Raise your hands. In your 30s? Amber, you in your 30s or no? You not in your 30s? You've been trying to sneak back in them 30s? Nah. You ain't in your 30s. But you do remember when you was in your 30s. All y'all ladies on here tonight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dear Finch, I am a woman in my late 30s. I've had some serious and not so serious relationships in the past. I'm currently single and looking for something real. Aren't y'all all looking for something real? I'm not interested in a friends with benefits or a hookup at this point. I'm not necessarily looking for marriage, but I am looking for someone who will want to be together. The issue, where do I find someone? I've tried the apps, Bumble, Match, Plenty of Fish. I've asked my friends, almost all of whom are happily in relationships. I've joined new and different activities. I've met some guys. I've gone on some dates, but the overwhelming majority of men I'm meeting have the same goals. Nothing serious, just casual, a total hookup. And in a lot of situations, they're married but unhappy. That's not for me. It's been a solid 2 years that I've been looking for a potential partner. After working on myself to be the best me I can be with therapy and self-reflection, I've been both active and passive in my looking. And it's frustrating to put myself out there and consistently get the same results. I mean, at what point does it become actual insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Most recently, I matched with someone on Bumble. Didn't they get a lawsuit of some sort? Yeah, I think I got to check that. We chatted on the app for a while, exchanged numbers to start texting, and he was the one that initiated actual phone conversations and FaceTime. I was excited about this prospect. Single, never married, no kids, good job, educated, family oriented. The issue, question mark, he was always too busy to meet for a real date. The final straw, he blocked me 2 days after we had an awesome FaceTime conversation. I just wanted to try and make plans to actually meet in person. What's upsetting was that he was always very honest and open about being busy and his life situation. Just when I thought I had found someone or something worth pursuing, it ended the same way all the others. I had found someone. I'm getting frustrated and disappointed. I know there are people out there, but where are they, Finch? I'm doing all the typical things and not getting any results. What am I missing? Ooh, who want to start? Get your hands up in there. Who want to start? Mika, you want to start? Yeah, you want to start. Let me get Mika. Mika, she said, what is she missing? Late 30s. Been 2 years solid. She done worked on herself, she say.
I guess you're just missing the opportunity. I don't know. You've done all this work. I try to put her into a job. She's like, should I just stop doing it? Would you stop trying to get gainful employment? If you want something, you have to keep at it, but you have to do the things to acquire it as well. So I'm not sure what you did, but maybe the things you have done hasn't been the right thing to find someone for you. And sometimes you got to just stop looking, just relax, hang out. And when you stop aggressively looking, something may come to you.
Okay. Amber.
Tough yeah, I was just gonna say it's kind of tough in this damn demic that we're still in, to meet people. And I know that a lot of my friends have even resulted to going to the online apps and trying to meet people. Yeah, I'm kind of like with Mika, like just hold on, sis. Whoever he is, if you've done the work, then the one who's done the work as well is going to be who God is going to match you up with. And that's what you have to pray without ceasing, and wait, I say, on the Lord, as they say, until that right one comes along. But I understand that it is frustrating. It can be, especially for strong, educated Black women. It's hard out here for us, those of us who aren't married, and who are out of our 30s. But she said she's into her late 30s. So she's probably knocking on the door at 40, right? And it's a different sex drive at 40. It's just certain things that you need and you want, that companionship. And I get it, but don't get so desperate that you settle, And Negroes out here catfishing people for real. So be careful with that too.
But she FaceTime with him.
How she know it was him? That don't mean nothing.
I mean, they've been having phone conversations.
But what if they never saw each other? And then I was saying he put his cousin on the phone to FaceTime with her. She might not know if it was him or not. You just never know.
He done blocked her now. I don't forgot why, but he blocked her.
No reason.
She was annoying as hell. See, hold on. See, because y'all be on here bullshitting sometimes. Think about this for a second, right? She said he was honest with her up front about how busy he is and his life situation.
You're breaking up.
Be Rice Krispies.
Yeah, snap, crackle, and pop.
What's going on with my audio? I got the good shit.
Come on, Teddy.
Hold on. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Am I good?
Right now. Act up again, but just go ahead.
I was saying that she said he was honest with her up front about his life situation and how busy he was up front. That's what y'all say y'all want. Honesty. He was honest with her up front. She looked at all the great qualities he had, and she decided she was going to build a man and make him the man she wanted him to be versus looking at the man he actually was. Again, she don't say why he blocked her, but I can.
And what's his life issues? Like, I need more context. Like,
hey, listen, you got to tell these folks.
I need more context. You all need to give us.
We got
a lot of specificity.
I agree because the letter was long, but I feel like it. Unfortunately, the letter was long, but I don't feel like it said nothing.
Exactly.
Like, it didn't give us, like you said, the key points we needed. It was a lot of filler, but a lot of details are missing, sis.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions once again, but she's not here to answer. So
somebody put the letter.
You on mute.
Gotta get on the chat.
Okay, sorry. I was gonna say I don't have any questions. Honey, you first of all, why he blocked you is really relevant. It's possible that he felt like match for him. Did I go out?
You did for a sec.
Okay. Whatever reason he had for blocking you, clearly he felt that you weren't a match. He was very upfront with you, and if you felt that wasn't something that was going to really mix well with what you needed and how you wanted to start building a relationship, then you shouldn't have even tried to entertain him with that great FaceTime that you guys had. But if you have to say that you've done a lot of work on yourself, then clearly you haven't done enough work on yourself. Because when you're confident in who you are and you know that the right person is going to come, then just like Meek said, you're not going to stop looking for a job when, if you want to obtain anything, if you want to lose weight, you keep working at it. If you want to find a job, you keep looking at it. If you want to grow spiritually, you keep working at it. Those are the things that you have to do until you get to a place of satisfaction. Relationships don't happen overnight. And if you keep trying to, like Finch said, build a man, you're going to end up building a man that's going to need repairs every 3 to 4 months.
Build a bitch.
Pretty much. That is accurate.
And not a bear.
Not a bear.
I listened to that, and I have to agree that there was a lot of stuff that typically sounds kind of standard. Not being able to find a good man, I worked on myself and all this good stuff. And I was just sitting here thinking from my point of view. And all I could think to myself is this, because this happened to me a lot. Oftentimes when women say that they are becoming their best selves or putting their best foot forward, oftentimes it's more so about what they want to give someone as opposed to what that man may be personally looking for. If you're trying to attract a man, you got to know what that man wants. And I think the reason why a lot of men don't take things seriously is because they know if they're honest with a woman and say what they really want, they're going to catch flack or all that stuff. So rather than get tangled up in it, they just, keep it simple, because each man has his ideal. Don't ever think that a man won't settle down for the right woman. But oftentimes what we've come across is that when we date, what we look for kind of takes back seat to what her priorities are. And that's just the facts. I mean, what's important to us kind of takes back seat to the relationship. And in her mind, I'm this, I'm a good woman. Why don't you want me? Well, you're all that, but you didn't ask me what I was specifically looking for. So if you're finding yourself not meeting the men that you want, maybe it's time to start having some genuine conversations with men about what they really think of you, and be ready for whatever they tell you. Because, if you tell a man, be honest with me, they'll be honest with you. And, men want what they want, and they will tell you what they're looking for. The question is, are you going to give that man what he's looking for, what he's really looking for? Because, as many women who bash Kevin these days, he makes some points in saying that a lot of the things that y'all think are marketable to us don't really even matter. Sure, you might have the education. Sure, you might have the job. Sure, you might have this. Sure, you might have that. But, your accolades are great. But what is it that we're looking for?
Who is Kevin? As in Hart?
Kevin Samuels.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, when it comes down to that, it's so convoluted, but because I hear that kind of stuff all the time from different women saying, I'm a good woman, so why can't I find somebody? Just know this, whether you are at church or at work, in the club, at the grocery store, or whatever, men are always watching. Your mannerisms, how you deal with people, your habits, men are watching. And oftentimes that a lot of men won't approach when they see something. Never even run up, never even ask a question.
A lot of men want to approach because they're intimidated.
No,
I've had a man to tell me that, so you can't tell me that's misinformation. I've had a man to tell me that. So that ain't no misinformation.
Listen, forget about all that. Men are intimidated by strong woman stuff.
You're muted. You're muted, Finch.
You got to drop that.
You're muted.
Well, he said it, so he needs to drop it.
That's a lie.
Those who feel
no,
that way should drop
some
it too.
men are intimidated.
They are.
Not all.
They
But
are.
some men are intimidated. And we've both had men say that all men aren't intimidated, but
They are not.
It's a lie.
It's not a lie. Are you calling men liars? So now men are liars.
That's an easy way out. If a man sees a woman and he really wants her, he is not intimidated.
Sometimes he feels like he really wants her, but sometimes some men feel like I can't even get that type of woman.
Absolutely.
She is above my level. Yep. Unfortunately, there's men that feel that way, and they may be at her level and may get a chance, but a lot of them don't even shoot the shot because they just say, she don't even look like she in my league. She is outside of my scope. And like they say, you miss all the shots you don't take. But Nate, there's some men that think like that.
It is. And it's sad.
When they say that, when they feel like she's out of my league or I can't get her, what he's really saying is that her lifestyle or what she is won't line up with who I am. And it's not worth the trouble trying to win her over.
Well, say that then, bro.
That's his problem. And I want to kind of point something out to something you said when you first.
Everybody changing clothes.
Oh, I didn't change. Who changed?
I think that's where Finch changed.
Oh, okay. So Nate, you said something about a woman has to know what a man wants. That's actually been one of our problems for hundreds of years, that we are always putting ourselves and our needs on the back burner and always accommodating what a man wants. We change ourselves. We're always doing what we feel that men need in order to accept us, right? That's not our responsibility. I have daughters, and I've taught my daughters, your job is to be the best version of yourself. Your job is not to think about what a man wants. Your job is not to modify who you are just to fit his comfort level in order for him to want you. You as a man, and any man, has a responsibility to be the best version of themselves. If you feel that I'm out of your league, then the problem is not me. The problem is you. Because I'm not going to dumb myself down just so you can feel that I'm worthy. If you feel that I'm not worth the trouble, then that tells me one of two things. Either you are not ambitious enough to try to figure out what to do in order to make our relationship work, or you're not thinking high enough to upgrade your goals. And if you want to be a mediocre nigga, then be a mediocre nigga. But you're not about to say that I'm not worth the trouble. Just say that you don't have the ambition to be a better person to be with someone like me. But I think that it's wrong for us to say that women have to try to figure out what a man wants, and a man is saying that this woman is not worth the trouble. The problem is him, not the woman. And
that's where we disagree. And this is why I say that. For a woman to say that she doesn't have to know what a man wants and give it to him, take me as I am, take it or leave it, that's definitely a priority and a prerogative. But if she's saying she's been doing this all this time and she's still not finding what she's looking for, then that's not happenstance. That's a trend. I mean, if one man says it, hold on. If one man says it, fine. If 3 men says it, okay. If 5 say it, if 10 or more are giving you the same reactions, then you got a decision to make. And it's not about dumbing yourself down or a man not being able to handle it, because there's a difference between a man not being able to handle it and a man just not wanting to deal with it. And if a man isn't interested in dealing with it, he's not going to. And he's not wrong with that. So the point I'm making to her is that if she's not finding the men she wants, because I hear this a lot of times too, women don't have problems getting men, they just don't get the men that they want. And if that's the case, then what kind of men are you really attracting?
So I partially agree with that, but I think that part of that is that women have an issue. We are always looking for unrealistic goal or unrealistic qualities within the men that we date. We don't know, and when I say we, I don't mean all women, but majority women that make that statement, they don't know what the hell they want. They just want to be in a relationship. Many times they have these unrealistic goals. And if we go by the example that you just gave of this woman has figured out what all of these, am I mute?
No, you're fine.
Okay. If we figure out if she's doing all of this modification with these men that she's dating, honestly, the problem is her. I think that, yes, we have to be unapologetically ourselves. We have to be the most authentic us that we possibly can be. Of course, once you get into a relationship, there are going to be things that you're going to change in order to make the relationship work. But I don't think that we need to spend so much time focusing on modifying who we are to fit just so someone wants to be with us. There's a difference between changing to improve yourself as a human being and changing yourself just to be dateable. I'm not going to change myself to be dateable. Listen, as long as they got my 600-pound life and we got these people out here that got to be bathed and they got to have layers of fat lifted and they can find somebody for them, then I'm sure there's somebody for everyone. And that's no disrespect to anyone's weight or anything else. It's just saying that we have to kind of put things into perspective. We're always modifying ourselves, and there really is someone out there for everyone. You just have to figure out how to be comfortable with you, and you're going to find someone that's meant for you. But we got to stop modifying ourselves.
Let me address that, because I don't think I ever said that a woman has to modify herself or change herself. I said she needs to find out what a man wants and give it to him.
Okay.
Now, if that's making her lose her identity as who she really is, then no, that's not healthy. But if it's just a matter of something, I don't know, something extraneous that's just unique to that guy, and you really want to be with that guy, and it's not something that, I mean, all right, let me give an example. And it's going to probably be very simple, but it's a point I'm making. Toilet seat. Put the toilet seat down. But I'm used to having it up. Put toilet seat down. But I'm used to having it up. Please put the toilet seat down. Okay, I'll start working on putting the toilet seat down. He's doing that because it bugs her, right? He's trying to change because he wants to get along with her. That doesn't mean he's changing who he is. He's just changing a bad habit.
That's not a bad habit. That's stupid. I think whoever uses the bathroom last should put the toilet seat in the opposite one for the next person to come in. It's called compromise. If I go to the bathroom, if I live with a man,
I'm making an example.
I know, I understand, but I want to point out that I'm talking about compromise. I don't think that there are things that you need to just start doing that you have to alter who you are. And using that example, I want to point out that there should be a compromise. When I go to the bathroom, I'm thinking the seat is going to be down because you went the last time and you put it down for me. When I leave out, I'm going to put the toilet seat up for you because I don't want you to have to think that I'm not being considerate of your feelings. So it's about compromise.
Well, isn't he compromising by putting the seat down for her?
Yes, but at the same time, she should be willing to put the seat up for him.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying. Bottom line, I'm saying is not
but
about
most women don't do it.
It's not about changing who you are. It's understanding what makes this other person tick and knowing how to push those buttons the right way in order to get the interaction that you want. Because it goes back to the emotional intelligence that we were just talking about. If I don't know what makes you tick and I don't understand how to give you what you want, it's not going to work. And it's a two-way street on that. That's the point I'm trying to make.
So when do you think that kicks in? Do you think that's something that you have to do in the beginning of the relationship? Or do you think that's something that happens over after time, after you've kind of solidified the fact that the two of you are going to be together?
I think once you've dated enough to where you've decided, okay, I want to focus on this person, then that's when the true learning starts.
But this writer is not there yet. She's still in the beginning of trying to find someone to be with. So while that information, like that advice is good, but it doesn't really apply to her because she's still trying to find someone.
And that goes back to my point of saying, well, who is she listening to? Is she listening to other women, or is she listening to men? Because if she's trying to get a man, then she should get viewpoints from men. Because if she wants one,
we can hear something, but something's off. I heard, can you hear me now?
Because I mean, if I wanted to get a woman, if I'm smart, I'm going to listen to the things that are important to her, so that I know how to touch on those things that are important to her, to show her that I care. Not just for what I want, but for her happiness. Because if she's happy being with me, then she's going to want to be with me. That's just how I operate. Now, if other people are different, that's them. I'm just giving my opinion on it. So if she's saying that she wants to get a man in her life and she's not getting the men that she wants, then maybe she needs to start talking to more men. Because right now, the ones you running around aren't it.
Mm-hmm.
No. You're saying something, but something's not turned up.
You're totally quiet now.
No, I can hear something.
I don't hear nothing.
Say something.
I can't hear.
Wait. Y'all can't hear me at all. I can hear you, but it's...
Oh, yeah, we don't hear him, though.
He said y'all can't hear me at all. Disconnect, whatever that is. Say take a break.
I have to get up and walk away.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I'm back like I never left.
No, you definitely left.
I was like, why they can't hear me?
We had Nate and Root like going back and forth for about 45 minutes.
Hey, they was having a great conversation, and I completely understood what Nate was saying, because
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
when you think about women tend to not every woman, don't y'all crucify me, I'm not saying every woman, but women tend to listen to other women about men, and they don't talk to men about what men are looking for. And I think Nate said this earlier, a lot of things that women think are important to men are not. we could give a damn about how many degrees you got. That shit meant something to you. That don't really mean that to a lot of men. Not saying every man that matters to, but we don't really care about that kind of stuff. So I agree with Nate. If you guys start talking to enough men, you'll understand what men desire or want. Because oftentimes, if we're just going to be honest, let's just be honest for a second. Men tend to fall into the trap of what women want from them, but not what they can give to us. So we're in a relationship pleasing you, but you're not pleasing us. And then you're wondering, like this lady in this letter, what went wrong? You is what went wrong because you was too busy worried about what you got and what you needed versus what we need. And I think sometimes you have to take the time to actually have that conversation with a man about what is it that he needs from you. And then you being able to decide whether or not you can give that. I mean, you know, I think that's one of those things. You keep going in and out. What's going on with your? Now I can't hear you. You got to unmute yourself. Oh, she gone now.
He's just muted.
Yeah, and I thought that was a great conversation that y'all was having, Nate. And
yeah,
he had the square. They was coming for him. They hit him with the right, left. You know.
Oh, okay.
Nate showing the skills.
Get it, I guess.
Yeah. So when we think about the discussions we've had this evening, let me say to this woman here, what are you missing? I think Ruth said this earlier. When we got to talk about the work we've done, chances are we haven't done the right work. You know, we just gonna be honest. Chances are we haven't done the right work because when you've done the work, it shows up in who you are as a person, and you don't have to tell people about the work you've done. You know, that's just what I see. You know what I'm saying? And all the people that I deal with on a daily, you know, when you work on yourself, I always want to ask this, and somebody said something earlier, so I'm going to pose this question to you guys. I think Nate said this about, did you say the right one or the one or something like that, or the right person or something of that nature? What is the right person when it comes to a relationship? Because I think sometimes, do we have this concept? And I know I'm getting to a whole different conversation, but we're having a conversation, so I want to ask this question. Do you guys think that we have gone into this realm of there's one perfect person just for us? And I think Amber said this earlier about waiting on God. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Y'all waiting on God to bring y'all a man or woman, you're going to be waiting forever. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Yeah, come on back in here, Amber. Let's have that conversation. It ain't happening.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. How is it fact?
Let me ask you this.
It's not fact for the people who already got it, and it's already been sent to them.
But God didn't give it to them. How can you prove God gave it to them?
Because the God is the orchestrator of all things. Nothing happens here on earth without going through heaven first.
That's not true.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your belief. That's not mine. So we're going to leave that alone because I don't have political or religious conversations with people.
That's not a religious conversation. This is a relationship conversation.
No,
it's a relationship conversation.
You said that God is not going to send.
He's not.
Okay, so that's a religious conversation. I'm not having that.
How's that a religious conversation? It's just a conversation. It don't have to be a religious conversation or anything. It's just a conversation. What I was asking,
it turned religious.
What I was asking in that term, when you say that, when you make a statement like that, because again, that statement was made here on this show, so I have a right to address it and discuss it. So when we make those kind of statements, what I didn't ask is the follow-up question of, because when we're talking about one person being right for another person or another person and somebody else making a decision on that person, does that not take away your ability to choose or decide?
Ask your question again. Give it again, please. Say it again.
So I was asking the question because we was talking about, Nate was talking about I think he said the right one or something like that. So I was asking that question, and then I brought in what you said, because you said God was going to bring somebody, and they was waiting on somebody to bring him, and he's going to bring him. So in lieu of those questions, I'm saying about a person, is there one particular person that people are waiting on or looking for, just like with this lady in this letter, or is there an assortment of people that could be right for you?
Well, that goes back to like the sex. There was an assortment of sex partners you have because you get what you need from different people. So it just depends on where you are in your life and what you're looking for in the moment when it comes to relationships. Some people don't believe in monogamy. Some people do, And if I choose to have certain partners, and not necessarily sexually, but I get whatever I get from this person and that person, then I'm gonna rock with these different people. If I want to be monogamous and settle down with one person, then I'm going to do the work that needs to be done. And hopefully God will send the right person along, the one who's supposed to be for me. I don't want Satan to send them, so I'm going to keep saying God. Shit.
Oh, okay. Ruth, what do you think? So are people in our society looking for one particular person, and is there just one particular person? I've heard people say, "Oh, my soulmate," and this kind of. Or is there an assortment of people that could be right for you,
Absolutely.
or be right for that person, but we're looking in the wrong direction?
I think that there's always more. I don't think that there's always just one soulmate. I think that there are lots of people who our souls can be connected to, and that we can learn to be in relationships with. It's just a matter of if we want to or not. There are arranged marriages that people get into that they didn't have an opportunity to pick, and they learn how to love each other and compromise and create a good environment and raise good kids. I just think that, like I'm always talking about your picker.
Right.
I think if your picker is right, you can pick a great person to be with and build a life with. But it also depends on the standards that you have for yourself. What are you looking for? What are you willing to accept? What are you willing to compromise on? Does this person at least have some of the goals that you have? Are you guys going to be able to really grow together? Or do you feel that this is someone that may kind of hold you back from your growth, or you may even hold them back?
Oh, that's good.
So no, I think that there are multiple relationships that you can have.
Yeah, that's good that you say that you could be the person that's holding them back. Yeah, because we always see this like, somebody else went off after being with somebody and they have a better life, and be like, oh, it was on you. You was the problem.
But sometimes maybe you just weren't the person to make them elevate.
True. True.
Maybe because I've heard women say before, I don't want to get out of this relationship because as soon as I leave, the next person is going to get everything that I put in. No, they're not. What they're getting is either they're getting a problem. So either you're going to say my condolences or thank you to whoever the person is that they're with after you.
Right.
But either way, it's about your own happiness. That means that you have an opportunity to find someone who's willing to work with you.
All right. Mika?
So my thought is, I think that people make relationships. So the question is, what was the question about? Oh, can you have multiple people that are for you? And
versus just when people say the one, is there just one person, or is there
the one
that you could choose?
There's several, and a relationship is just a category, like a job. There's several jobs for you. You pick one job. There's several friends in this world you can have. You pick your group of friends. There's a plethora for every category. There's a million sneakers you could put in your closet. You pick exactly what you want. Everything is a category, and a relationship's no greater than the next thing. There's several people for you, but you still have to pick with that picker the one that you feel. And because you picked this one, don't mean you can't pick another one again, because there's several people that align to you. There's several people you're compatible with. And if you pick this person, it doesn't mean that the others weren't just as compatible. People pick someone and then things happen and they're no longer the person that they should have picked. So you move on to somebody else that was equally as, aligned to you, but they just weren't your choice at that time.
That's good stuff.
Right.
Nate?
I couldn't have said it better. Wholeheartedly. I mean, there's a number of people in this world who you could be happy with, in my opinion. And it's not until you choose to focus on one that you really can call that person the one, simply because that's what you're focusing on. But yeah, you can have more than one soulmate, in my opinion.
You can have more than one soulmate. Well, listen, discussions are always good because you get a chance to hear other perspective. And just because somebody don't agree with your perspective don't make you right, don't make them wrong, just means we have a difference of viewpoints. And to all the people who wrote this week, to the men and women who sent inboxes, listen, we actually appreciate hearing from you guys. It says a lot to us. I can speak for the panel. It says a lot to us to get those emails, hear your issues, and render some sort of advice. It ain't always what you want to hear, probably, but nevertheless, we hope we are being a better part of your day, and we're helping you think about things in a different way than you probably saw before. And hopefully, we've helped you get your ass off the fence. Till next week, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.